Britney Spears is free. We did it, guys. And there'll be other people that will tell you that they did it, or it'll be lawyers, or it'll be judges. But no, we did it. The fans. We freed Britney. Britney is free. Her conservatorship has ended as of today. I mean, this conservatorship, I feel like, probably Britney's dad, Jamie, couldn't have been thrilled once the conservatorship became a big part of the news. When it became a big talking point, when it would come up at social gatherings. What about this Britney Spears conservatorship? He's probably like, I really don't want to talk about it. Because look, you got Britney Spears over here. And I think the idea of a conservatorship is when somebody can't take care of themselves anymore. The idea of a conservatorship is somebody is so far gone that they can't be trusted to make decisions for themselves. And so they need somebody to sit there and take care of everything. Because part of the conservatorship, it was Britney's finances, it was Britney's business, but it was also her personal life. It was also her medical life. This is what that stuff is for. When you can't trust a person to go to the doctor at the right times, or take their medication as prescribed, or do anything that is required to stay alive, they go, we need somebody to take care of this person. And that is the situation that Britney Spears found herself in almost 14 years ago. That's crazy when you think about it 14 years ago. Because, she's come out with music in the last 14 years. She's toured in the last 14 years. But she's been trying to send messages, She had that weird thing in Vegas where she had they were announcing that she was going to have a residency. And instead of doing the big press conference and the concert, she just shows up on stage and then walks right past everybody and leaves. It's a cry for help. It's a cry for help back then. That was years ago. But I feel like these documentaries don't hurt. I feel like, for people who want to get away with stuff they shouldn't be doing, whether it be criminal or otherwise, streaming documentaries are just the worst. Robert Durst is over here murdering people all he wants, all the live long day, going to court, not going to court, doesn't matter, murdering as much as he wants. No, everybody's leaving him alone. All of a sudden, HBO wants to do a documentary about him. He decides to do the documentary, goes to the bathroom, confesses to murder in the mirror, as one does while he's mic'd up, and what do you have? Now he's going to court. He's spending his life in jail while he's on trial for another murder, even though he's already spending his life in jail for the first. Not the best news for him. Great news for his victims, families. Not the best news for him. Britney's dad is over here having the time of his life, controlling Britney's life, getting all her money, getting to do everything he wants to do. Perfect. What happens? They come out with a documentary. They go, I don't know if you heard, but Britney Spears has no control over her own life. There's this whole generation of people that grew up with Britney Spears. And they're all like, what the hell? And then even the ones that go, they go like this, well, I don't know. Britney shaved her head that time. That was the threshold, by the way. And I don't know if it's just because of Britney, but that was the threshold of crazy at that time. There were people that literally were like, she cut her hair. Clearly she needs some kind of help. Meanwhile, forget about Kanye West and every other person that has gone so far past I don't know, they got a bad haircut. I don't think we can trust him anymore. Just sign on to your Twitter account. Just go into your app mentions. I'll bet you'll find a lot more crazy than a bad haircut. But you go she had a bad haircut. The guy that was following her around with a camera as she was trying to get custody of her kids, she hit him with an umbrella. Clearly, the next 14 years of her life, she should not have any control over. Well, that's all gone now. The announcement was made. Here's the attorney outside the courtroom today.
What's next for Britney?
Yeah.
And this is the first time that this could be said for about a decade. Is up to one person, Britney.
Okay.
I will say.
And I don't know because I haven't done all the research, but I see here Tinker Weasel says she spent all her money on Pogs. And if Britney did spend all her money on Pogs right before her dad took her over, well, it depends on what kind of Pogs. Like, if you're talking about taking all your money and spending it in Alf Pogs, that's something that could retain value and even go up. But if it's, if it's like Teletubby Pogs, that's ridiculous. Nobody's ever going to want those. So it would have to get specific. But if that is the case, we would have to look into it.
I will say that Britney has been put into a position through our collaboration and the work of my law firm to succeed. We have a safety net in place for Britney, both on the personal side and on the financial side.
I want to know who's getting I can hear Britney playing in the background. I want to know who's making the money off that Britney music. That's what I really want to know, right? Like, obviously she should be making money off her music, off her merch, off all this stuff, because Britney's stuff just keeps coming out. So, like, was her dad making it before and now she's going to make it? Do these lawyers make it? Because this lawyer,
as those of you who
he's talking like he's in charge.
But Britney, as of today, is a free woman.
Hey.
And she's an independent woman. And the rest,
throw your hands up at me,
will be up to Britney.
Okay. He says it'll be up to Britney. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's because I don't trust lawyers. Maybe it's because I know what Britney just got herself out of. But all this talk of safety nets but there's no safety net for me. Nobody sits there. I don't think to myself, well, no matter what happens, somebody sets something up for me and I'll be good. I didn't come out with Toxic. So maybe I haven't made enough money for somebody to take it and be like, don't worry, we're going to set you up for life. I think that maybe that's what this is for. Like if you've made enough money to set yourself up for life, I guess sometimes you need somebody there to take it and actually set you up for life with it. But there's every athlete that's ever lived, every person that's ever played professional sports that ends up broke, which is all of them, aren't they watching this going like, hey, lawyer guy, why don't you set me up? I made $200 million throwing a football around, and I don't have a penny to my name. I have no idea what the hell happened. And they go like this, you mean you weren't good with your money? Believe it or not, no. Even though I have this college degree that got me into the NFL, it wasn't for economics. I mean, there's a lot of people that probably need people to set up safety nets for them. I'm glad Britney does. Britney deserves it. Hits and hits and hits. Every time. She's so lucky. Listen to the fans going nuts. I don't know why they didn't put this trial on TV. Maybe it's something about the city that it's in or something, but I feel like if anyone should have their case on TV, it's this one. Everybody's so happy, very emotionally attached to this. They wanted Britney to win. This is a lot of pressure on poor Britney, though. This is a lot of pressure. I feel like if I were under conservatorship, I'd be fighting for my freedom too. But if there were hundreds of people also fighting for my freedom, I'd be like, look, guys, I got my freedom, but I don't know what you expect out of me now. I don't know if you expect me to do something great all of a sudden. I really just want to go home. I just want to make sure that what's mine is mine, but I don't have any big major plans. I hope nobody's expecting that. And it's also one of those things, like, if Britney does need help later on, do we have to, go oh, let's make sure that she isn't signing. What's she signing there? Let's make sure she isn't signing anything away there. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for Britney. Hopefully her Instagram stays exactly the same. I love the strangeness of it. I love the coded messaging that goes on there. I love that it looked like that she was locked up in a giant vestibule all the time. I mean, it was all entertaining, all the dancing and everything. I don't know if this means she'll go back on tour. But, part of the thing about her conservatorship was they said, the conservatorship was they were, pushing her out on stage when she shouldn't have been on stage. They were taking advantage of her. So I feel like maybe she shouldn't be on tour. I don't know. I don't know how Christina Aguilera got out of it. And Britney ended up in this mess. But, man, I also don't know. What is that life, man? You start out as a kid, and you're on the Disney Squad, or whatever that show was called. But you're famous from the time you're a kid, right? You're kind of famous. You're at least famous to your friends. You're the one friend who's on television. Then you become the biggest pop star in the world. You're insanely sexualized from the time that you're a young teen. You're 15 years old, running around. People are asking you about your breast implants. There's paparazzi that are making excuses as to why it's good that they follow you around. Remember they used to do that? Paparazzi used to be like, oh, no, the celebrities like it. That one guy in the documentary about Britney, she told you to leave her alone. He goes, no, she meant leave me alone for that day. I did. I would leave her alone for the day. I'd see her again tomorrow, because otherwise, who's going to talk about her? But so she becomes like the biggest star ever. Paparazzis are following her around everywhere. Her body changes are being completely examined. Then she ends up, just trying to escape everything. She goes through her phase. We all go through our K-Fed phase, but she goes through her K-Fed phase right in front of the world's lens for everyone to see. Now everyone's knowing that she's letting K-Fed be the father to her children. That's kind of embarrassing in hindsight. At the time, probably not, but in hindsight, I would imagine. Custody battles are all public. She gets to the height of madness. And then she ends up in a conservatorship where she has no control over anything for 14 years. There's no space from the time that she's 11 until today when she's a normal person. This has been the 90s. She has not experienced life as a normal person since the 90s. She's either been astronomically famous or living a life where other people control every decision that she makes. And now, as an adult woman, she's got to step into 2021 and be like, let me smell the fresh air. And then realize that nobody can make good decisions anymore. Everything is bonkers. And this is the time. I mean, if there was ever a time where I wanted people making all my decisions for me, it would probably be right now. Wouldn't it be great to not have to think about anything? But that's only because we've gotten to think about everything so much. We need a break from it. Britney needs a break from not having to think about everything. To be an independent person for a change. So, God bless Britney. Congratulations. Fantastic.